Hi guys, I missed you so much. Clearly a little bit of a change of setting, so I'm still back home for another week, so this will be the setting for my videos this week, but I miss you guys so much. I am so excited to be filming again with a lot to talk about. Week 17 recap and playoff preview, a little bit in one here today. We've missed a lot, lots to catch up on, lots of 8K camera footage and exciting things happening. Let's jump right into it. I've got two quick main takeaways for this week 17 recap, and then we'll jump into the excitement of the wild card playoff situation. So we've obviously got to start with the Washington at Philly game. That was the first time I'd ever seen a team like truly just tank right in front of our eyes. Like, I don't think you can explain it any other way. Kind of crazy. I know, down in Jacksonville, they've been playing Mike Glennon for the past couple of weeks, but that prime time last game of the season, 256 game slot, and they pull that. It was a bit weird to watch. I can imagine that the organization's going to get in a lot of trouble from the league. That was my main takeaway. I was like, are you guys not afraid of, the repercussions? Outside of that, I do want to talk about this Cardinals team. I was shocked to see them not make it into the playoffs because of their loss. Chicago was still able to sneak in, even with their loss. And I expected them to step up to the plate. Obviously, we know Kyler Murray got injured in that game and came back in to try to rally his team to a win. But I now just have concerns surrounding that team. I was high on them. I was excited for them. I thought they would sneak into the playoffs this year. Maybe not make it far, but still kind of get something going. Now that they weren't able to do that, I don't know how I feel about them going forward. Big question mark there for that Arizona team. All right, let's jump into the good stuff. We're starting the playoff preview. I've got the Indianapolis Colts at the Buffalo Bills to start it off here in the AFC. I'm really excited about this matchup. I'm surprised we're getting it so early. This is like a divisional round matchup that I would have wanted to see because these two teams have been my favorite these past couple of weeks. They've been the teams that I'm really eyeing, that I think are picking up steam at the right times. The Colts looking kind of similar to how the Titans looked last year. But I do think that the Bills take this. My main focus in this game is going to be that Colts defense versus Josh Allen. Diggs is looking good. I'm really excited about that. I predicted him to be a top receiver this year and really find his fit and shine there in Buffalo. Looks like it's happening. And I do think that this Bills defense has what it takes to stop a newly rolling rookie running back in Jonathan Taylor on that Colts team. I don't know how much I trust Phillip Rivers, so I think I do have some concern there. I think just all around the talent is more balanced on that Buffalo team. I think they win it. Next up for our AFC matchups, we've got the Cleveland Browns at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm looking forward to this one too. Once again, third time's the charm this season. I do think that this is going to be a pretty evenly matched game, and I think that Cleveland, I'm giving a slight favor to Cleveland. Very slight, though. I think this is going to be a really fun watch. It could go either way. Wouldn't be surprised of the outcome on either side. I do hope that Cleveland kind of gets more of a rhythm. I'm so disappointed in myself for still not being convinced by them because Baker's done everything that he can and should be doing on and off the field. I feel like we've just watched him mature so much in the league. The pieces around him look good. That defense is playing well. I still just feel like they need to hit a second gear for me to trust them, which is crazy because they are playing well. So I think that this would be the game that, no, it probably still wouldn't convince me. I'd need to see them win in the divisional round. I'm not going to lie. But I think it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a really nice matchup. TJ Watt will be back for the Steelers. Denzel Ward will be back for the Browns. It's going to be a good one. I'm excited. And the final AFC matchup for this weekend, we've got the Baltimore Ravens at the Tennessee Titans. The rematch. I think everybody is going to be all eyes on narratives and storylines. Is Lamar Jackson just not a playoff quarterback? Can he, rewrite that narrative from last season when he lost in this game, which was a shock to the world? I think this team is going to come in with a chip on their shoulder, way more prepared. I think Lamar specifically will have a chip on his shoulder for this matchup. Can't wait for it. So excited. I think we all are. I do think that Baltimore now knows what to expect. Not that they didn't know what to expect from Derrick Henry last year, but I think they're going to just come out there tough, ready to play, knowing that the world is watching, expecting the same outcome as last year. And how can they change it up? This Tennessee defense has seen a decline, so I think that's even more in favor for the Baltimore offense. Hollywood Brown had a better game last week versus the Cincinnati Bengals. He'll need to show up in this game and in the playoffs going forward. Really looking forward to this one. I do think that Baltimore gets it. I think that, we finally get to tick that box for Lamar in the playoffs this weekend, but it will be all eyes for sure. Starting things off in the NFC, we've got the Chicago Bears at the New Orleans Saints. I have nothing to say here. Drew Brees, the Saints, go out there and win this. I am frustrated, and it's not like they lose every wild card game, and they often make it to the NFC Championship, but I'm ready to see this team play like a Super Bowl team. They have way too much talent, and I'm so nervous. It feels like a this is it kind of year. Breeze might be retiring. There's, just so many rumblings. And again, they have way too much talent on that roster, and the Chicago team has proven to be a fluke. Win this game. That's it. That's all I've got for that one. Next up in the NFC West, once again, they haunt us into the postseason. We've got the Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Looking forward to this one for an interesting reason. So I think we talk so much about Seattle's defense being a liability, or at least we were doing that through October, November time. But now I've got my eyes on this Rams defense being able to potentially win this team the game. Think about how Seattle looked week 17. This past weekend versus San Francisco early in the game. Obviously, we know Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. But then I also think about them versus the Washington football team, versus the New York Giants. Teams with great defenses or great defensive plans having their number. That's where my biggest concern lies. And that's crazy because DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, that should not be a concern, and yet it is. And it's proven to be throughout the season. So that's going to be the main thing that I'm eyeing. I definitely think that the Rams have what it takes on defense to be able to get this done. Have no idea what's happening at the quarterback position, whether it be Jared Goff or John Wolford, who took me by surprise this past weekend. But I'm going to be paying attention to that and concerned. Seattle should win this, but I don't know that they do. I'm not going to say that with the utmost confidence. And finally, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington football team. This should be a fun one, especially with that Washington front going up against a 43-year-old quarterback in Tom Brady that does not like being under pressure. That's going to be pretty scary for that Tampa Bay Bucs team. Other than that, they have the overall better roster. They have the roster that's built more to win now. So they should win this game, but I don't necessarily think that they will. I remember around mid-season, we were talking about how bad this NFC East was and how there was quite a possibility that whatever team won the NFC East would sneak into the playoffs and win in Wildcard weekend. I had that feeling then, and I still do now. I still think that that's possible. I'm sure Tom Brady's pride will play its little heart out so that doesn't happen. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I have actually more of a feeling that the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks. But I think this one will be an intriguing watch. Wouldn't be surprised if the Bucs get knocked off early. Hope that they don't, though. They're built to make it far. That is it. That's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys had a happy New Year. Enjoyed your holiday break. Let me know down in the comments below what playoff matchups you're looking forward to. It is going to be a really fun January. These teams are starting to look better than they have in past years. Maybe I'm just excited and it's recency bias. I'm most excited about draft season. It's officially here. It's upon us. I cannot wait to start creating draft content for you guys. So stay tuned for all of that. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see, prospects that you want, like in-depth deep dives on and things like that, who you guys think would be great fits for your team. And I will chat with you tomorrow with some college football talk.